Alright, hi class. I've already done this once today and the recording didn't keep, so this might be a little bit drier than the first time. Welcome to Beginning C++ with game programming. Today we're going to be talking about the course syllabus, and then in a separate video I will help you set up your environment so that you can compile code and we can make sure we're ready for this class. Okay, so I'll just go along this. This is available in Canvas if you go to the syllabus here. And I selected print or something or other like that. And that's how I got to this page. So, it's spring 2018. CRN number for this class is here. We meet online. So some of these things are not going to apply to you because, well, you don't have to worry about bringing drinks to class and no cell phones in class. Anyway, my name is Brian Foster. I'm the professor for this course. I've taught it, I think this is my third semester teaching C++, and I've been teaching since 2014. I took the game design, the interactive 3D program here at Butler, and then 2 weeks later started teaching. My contact information, if you need to contact me, is, here's my office schedule. So I am free for open office hours here, here, and here, and here. You are welcome to come contact me in my office, or if you send me a message on Canvas, we can meet up and FaceTime, or some other, complement of that. If I'm in a class, but my students are working on projects, you could come in and set up and do some programming, and then I could help you with any assignments you had then. So that's an option too. Why my eraser doesn't work. If Canvas is down, send me an email here. I am not usually in my office except for, like I said, these hours. Canvas messages are the easiest ways to get a hold of me. Those messages go straight to my phone and my watch and such and such. So, but you might want to keep this email address somewhere that isn't Canvas, because if Canvas ever isn't working, you can't go to Canvas to the syllabus to find my email address. Okay. So this course is a beginning course. If you don't know any programming, that's fine. That's where I started when I took this class. That's where everybody starts when they take this class. If you have some programming, we'll still do interesting stuff. We are using the book, Beginning C++ Through Game Programming. We're essentially going through that, and I'll create assignments that aren't in the book, but are hopefully more fun to do. Programming will take you through, well, I'll show you all the things we're going to go through in just a moment. You probably won't need a USB flash drive since you're not transferring files from home and to school. You'll just be at home all the time because you're in an online class. So, optional. Unless you need to use the computers at Butler, which you can. We have open labs. I will make a note to get those open labs timed to you. The intention is for the student to be able to convert gaming problems into programmable solutions using structured programming principles. Structured meaning there's a structure from this thing to this thing to this thing to the next, or to this other thing. That's a structure. Use the C++ programming language to implement and test the solutions, and identify and use basic elements of structured programming. So you'll be able to do all these awesome things. Won't it be cool? The learning pack statement, this whole section here It just means that in addition to teaching you how to program with discipline-specific technology, I will also be teaching you how to articulate an idea better, or at least giving you the practice by putting you into groups and then having you give discussions. It's my intention to make you a more successful overall person, or more able to achieve the goals you have in your life. College isn't just teaching you C++. Okay. Major summative assessments. These are the things that we're grading. These are the daily assignments here, weekly assignments, midterm and finals exams. We'll have those. Those will assess whether or not you understand C++. And a project we're actually not doing, so I need to adjust that and write a note about that. Butler expects you to know how to use a computer. This should be extremely obvious since you're taking an online class. Sorry about that. In addition, if you don't know how to Google things, you shouldn't be in this class. Please don't ask me how to Google things or say, I didn't know how to do anything, so I just stopped. That's mostly what that is. Google knows the answer. So basically everything. Students, you are expected to be engaged. All that means is you want to learn, you want to succeed. Don't make me drag you kicking and screaming. I try my best to be a fun person to listen to and a good teacher. So hopefully you'll just be engaged with this conversation that we're having right now, even though it's about the syllabus. What a drag. So let me just stop saying nothing and move on. Let's all be engaged. Class information. 40% of your grade is assignments. 30% of your grade is a midterm and a final, and these will have a quiz in addition to a code creation portion of the assignment. So 60% of your grade, 3-letter grades for the midterm, 3-letter grades for the final. The grading scale, I know some of you will have come from or be intending to transfer to WSU. Butler doesn't do A- and B+. We just do A, B, C, D, F. So that's how the grading scale goes. Okay, class schedule, part that I'm most interested in showing off. This week, even though, well, yeah, this week. Overview of the course, which is this part that we're doing right now, and setting up, which will be the next video. That's what we'll do in class. And then after this, it follows the chapters of the book, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the recap of chapters 1 through 5. And then the midterm over chapters 1 through 5. And then chapter 6, and then spring break. So we'll learn about just essentially like the data that we can deal with. And then we'll deal with if, else, and I think switch statements. These are for loops, strings, and arrays, which, you know, many of you have no idea what they are, and that's fine. We'll get there. I recommend reading ahead of every lecture that we get to. When I took these courses, I actually took this class twice. I passed it both times with a B. I don't know why I didn't do better on the second time, but the only time the lectures ever made sense in this class was when I had read the book first and none of it made sense. And then I'd come to class and it would mostly make sense, and then I would go and read the chapter again so that I could do the assignment, and then it totally made sense. So read your book. It's a pretty good book. Trust me, there are a lot worse out there. And then after spring break, we have Chapter 7 pointers, Chapter 8 classes, 9 and 10, and then we recap 6 through 10, and we have the final 6 through 10, and then we cover next steps, like what you'll do next semester and how you can best use the information you learned in this class. Okay, institutional policies, attendance. This is Butler-wide. Coming to class is important, specifically for online courses. We have this section, submitting an academic activity at least once per week. I'm going to have discussions. Nobody likes discussions, so they're just going to be, there's 2 ways that I'm going to make discussions better. One, all of you are in groups of 4, I think, 4 or 5. You're in groups of 4 or 5, so you're only going to talk to the people in your group. And secondly, it's just going to be covering stuff in the chapter. It's not going to be, how do you feel about programming in general? No, it's going to be, what is an integer? You guys are all going to break apart the chapter, and one of you will do a mini lecture in the discussion about what's happening in that part. Okay, so hopefully discussions don't suck terribly. That's what I'm going for. Now, but you will have to fill those out every week. There will be homework every week. For students only in online courses. Oh, apparently there's some financial aid stuff that you should pay attention to if you're only in online courses. All right. You should read all this. This is the fine print, but it's kind of on you to read. I don't want to bore you by reading it verbatim. I trust you can read, and therefore I expect you to read. So, no cheating. This very specifically means turning in someone else's work without proper citation of the source. So, turns out you need to cite sources even here. I will pretty much tell you right now, I don't want you to use somebody else's work. You're welcome to go to the internet and look up, how did somebody do this assignment? You won't have any of those because nobody's done my assignments, because it's just like 40 students last semester and 40 students the semester before that, because I write my own assignments. But programming's weird because in the vast out there, in the real world, in the workforce, when you're a programmer, you'll just copy and paste everyone else's code because it's faster, or because it's better, or because it's already a solved problem. But since you're turning in work to me and I'm trying to assess your personal ability to complete the homework, I need you to do the work. So don't turn in somebody else's work. Write all of your own code yourself. If you do turn in somebody else's work and I catch you, it's a 0, and that's it. Okay. Incompletes. If you have done well throughout the semester and something happens, maybe you get ill or another sufficient reason, an instructor at my discretion may enter an incomplete at final grade time, and you can have the next 6 weeks of the following semester, which would be fall of 2018, to do your work. Please let me know if something happens to you and you can't complete your work, and maybe we can work something out. Disability services, anyone needing information concerning special needs should contact me, send me a Canvas message, or the disability services coordinator, who will then tell me, hey, you should make sure that your class is helping out such and such a person. If you're deaf, for example, or or some other thing. Yeah, please give them a call or send me a message. Okay? Butler is a learning center. It's a place where we learn, and it's really hard to learn if you're being harassed or you're threatened with violence or you're actually being attacked. So we're really not into harassment or violence. Please don't do that to anybody. If it does happen, please either contact me and let me know about it, and I will do the best that I can to make sure it doesn't happen again. The Title IX coordinator is the other person to talk to, or human resources. Yeah, there is. Students may also report incidents to an instructor, faculty, or staff member. I am required to notify the Title IX coordinator. Okay, there's also the mental health counselor, the student health services. Please take care of yourself and help us make Butler a better and easier place to learn. Social media policy. It's not so much of an issue, but essentially what it boils down to is you want to go on Twitter and say, I'm having a great time, or I'm having a terrible time, and my other students agree. Because of privacy reasons like HIPAA and FERPA, maybe that person doesn't want to be on Twitter or be known that he or she is coming to this class. Maybe they're hiding from someone. Anyway, it's their private response. It's their prerogative whether or not anybody else knows that they're coming to classes here. So get their permission before mentioning it to anyone else. Okay. Instructor policies. This is an online class, and there's a lot of classwork. Assignments and learning might take 6 to 9 hours every week. I need a period. So read the book, watch the video of me teaching the subject, and then repeat until the assignment's done. It might take a lot of time, and especially, like, please don't rush through the assignment. You're gonna want to know the stuff in this class if you're taking any more programming classes in the future, or just if you want to be more successful. Programming opens so many doors, and it's definitely not going away anytime soon. So, there you go. Late makeup assignments. We all know that deadlines are important, the same as we know that deadlines can occasionally be extended. Every lesson that I give will build on last week's lesson, and feedback on your homework will improve the projects. Your assignments will be due 6 days after it's been assigned. So I'll assign it, and then 6 days later it's due at midnight, or 11:59 p.m. And then late work is not accepted. But it's not late until I start grading. So if I don't get grading done until 4 or 5 days after the due date, and you turn it in 3 days after the due date, as long as you turn it in before I'm grading, it's not late. Because what difference does it make to me if you turn it in on the due date or later? Does that make sense? Okay, but you never know when I'm going to grade it. I might grade it at, 12:01. Probably not. But I might grade it the next day, and if it's late, then it's a 0. It's not like, oh, I'm only going to get an 80. No, it's a 0. I close assignments after I'm done grading. Okay, dropping. There's an important day in week 4, Census Day, when it's required that students have shown up to classes and turned in homework. Any that haven't are automatically dropped from the class for federal funding reasons. So you will be automatically dropped if you haven't turned in stuff, and, well, the only way I know whether you're coming to class is if you turn in stuff. So turn stuff in. After that, usually around week 12 or 14 is the cutoff for dropping the class. I'll do my best to warn you about it, but I might not. Usually it's a good idea to drop instead of fail. However, you should talk to financial aid before dropping because sometimes you can lose your financial aid entirely if you don't complete enough hours per semester or per year. So I'm happy to help you make the most of your college career, including dropping in class if situation merits. Please come talk to me. Well, send me a message before dropping. I'm very interested in your success. I want to know where you go. I want to know how I can help you next semester. It happens all the time. This is a hard class, a difficult class, challenging class. And I just want to help you succeed. So, classroom behavior. Everyone here is also trying to pass this class. Please help them pass this class. Any help you give to somebody else is help you're giving to someone just like you. So you should help them. And then finally on the syllabus, departmental policies. This is almost entirely related to the computer labs, so you won't be in a computer lab. This is computer lab stuff. You can use your cell phone and tablets. You can bring food and drink to your own house. That's fine. You obviously need to use your own computer or a laptop. So, end of video. I'll be right back with a video about setting up your work environment.